What's up, weebs and webtoon warriors? Today we're diving into the top 10 manhwa of 2024. Stories so fire they'll make you forget to eat, sleep, or touch grass. Let's jump straight in. Kicking off with number 10, The Greatest Estate Developer. Okay, hear me out. This manhwa is what happens when Minecraft meets ReZero and somehow becomes a comedy masterpiece. Our guy, a broke engineering student, gets isekai'd into a lazy noble's body. Instead of grinding dungeons, he's out here redesigning bridges and arguing with peasants about plumbing. It's chaotic genius. What makes it great is the humor. Not just haha funny, but actual laugh-out-loud moments where you pause scrolling because the dialogue slapped. Plus, the art? Crisp. The pacing? Smooth. It's basically Civil Engineering Simulator Medieval Edition. And honestly, I didn't expect to be this hyped watching someone manage irrigation systems. But here we are. If you love brains over brawn MCs and world building that actually builds something, this one's pure gold. Sliding to number 9. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. This one's basically, the book you read becomes your reality, except the book is trying to kill you. Our main guy, Dokja, was the only reader of this obscure web novel, and suddenly the entire world becomes that story. Yeah, nightmare fuel, but make it cinematic. What makes it shine is how meta it gets. Characters are self-aware, the plot twists slap harder than Gojo's domain expansion, and the emotional stakes? Whoa. It'll make your brain do push-ups. If you love power scaling, philosophical chaos, and characters who look like they've seen some things, this one's your jam. Plus, the art? Gorgeous. Every panel feels like a final boss cutscene. And let's be real, Dokja's tired of everything energy? Mood. Landing on number 8, Tower of God. This series is basically the Dark Souls of manhwa. It's huge, mysterious, and nobody fully understands it, but we're all obsessed anyway. The story follows Bam, a kid climbing a massive tower to find his best friend Rachel, who might just be anime's most backstabbing bestie ever. The world building here is so deep, it feels like reading 10 fantasy novels at once. Every floor has its own culture, power system, and characters who could each have their own spin-off. The art has evolved a ton. Early chapters look like PowerPoint slides, but now it's movie tier. And the combat scenes? Absolute chaos in the best way. If you're a fan of betrayal, strategy, and saying, wait, what just happened? Every 3 panels, Tower of God remains undefeated. Rachel slander forever. Looking at number 7, Solo Leveling, Ragnarok. You already know the legacy. Solo Leveling changed the webtoon game forever, so when Ragnarok dropped, fans collectively screamed, please don't mess this up. Luckily it didn't. The sequel follows Sung Jinwoo's son. Yeah, our OG overpowered king passed down the drip, and while it's got huge shoes to fill, it's carving its own legend. The fights? Gorgeous. The monsters? Nightmarish. The story? Surprisingly emotional. We get more lore on the Shadow Army and the aftermath of Jinwoo's reign. It's like Boruto, if Boruto was actually good. Some fans argue it doesn't hit quite as hard as the original, but come on. Living up to Solo Leveling is like trying to out-hype your dad who literally saved the multiverse. It's impossible, but Ragnarok gives it a damn good try. Moving to number 6, The Return of the Blossoming Blade, Return of Mount Hua Sect. Martial arts? Check. Reincarnated legend with a smart mouth? Double check. This series is what happens when a once great swordsman wakes up centuries later to find his sect in shambles and decides to rebuild it with pure sass and skill. The MC, Chung Myung, is a walking meme. He roasts everyone, fights like a demon, and somehow manages to inspire people while acting like he doesn't care. The blend of comedy and action here is unmatched. Every fight scene feels personal, and every chapter leaves you like, wait, did I just get emotionally invested in sword politics? It's Kung Fu Panda meets Demon Slayer, if Poe had anger issues and a drinking problem. Absolute top-tier martial arts storytelling. Coming in at number 5, The Horizon. Oh boy. If the rest of this list is chaos, The Horizon is pure heartbreak. This manhwa is quiet, haunting, and will wreck you emotionally. It follows a boy and a girl traveling through a post-apocalyptic wasteland, but it's less about survival and more about the human soul. The art? Minimalistic but stunning. The silence between panels hits harder than any explosion. It's like the Your Lie in April of manhwa. No fights, no powers, just raw humanity. You'll go in thinking, just 2 kids walking, how sad can it be? Then 5 chapters later, you're crying into your ramen like, I was not prepared. It's short, beautiful, and unforgettable. The kind of story that stays in your brain rent-free forever. Rolling to number 4, SSS Class Revival Hunter. Now this one's wild. The premise? Our main dude dies. A lot. But every time he dies, he can copy the abilities of the person who killed him. Talk about turning L's into W's. The series nails that perfect balance of dark comedy and hype. The protagonist starts off weak, but after stacking skills like he's farming achievements, he becomes a total monster, and not the boring OP kind. He's clever, manipulative, and has this I've seen death too many times energy that makes him oddly relatable. The dungeon action slaps, the art style is slick, and the character growth? Chefs? Oh wait, can't say that. Let's just say it's perfection with extra sauce. If you love solo leveling but want more strategy and mind games, this one's pure serotonin. Dropping in at number 3, Surviving the Game as a Barbarian. Alright, this one caught me off guard. Imagine logging into a hardcore RPG and getting stuck as a barbarian. No magic, no drip, just muscle and violence. But RMC? He makes it work. The man turns pure brawn into a survival art form, crafting weapons, outsmarting monsters, and literally using game mechanics like a pro. It's got that berserk brutality mixed with gamer-level strategy. The best part? The comedy. Dude's constantly roasting NPC logic and struggling to survive like every player who ever picked hard mode by accident. It's gritty, intense, and surprisingly deep, with a power system that rewards brains and brawn equally. But trust me, number 3 will mess with your head in the best way possible. Charging to number 2, Operation. True love. Time to switch gears. Romance fans, this one's for you. Don't scroll away, action junkies, it's that good. Operation True Love takes the usual high school love triangle and flips it on its head with a dark emotional twist. The main girl, Sue, finds out her boyfriend's cheating. Classic drama, right? But then she discovers a mysterious device that lets her experience love from other perspectives. Suddenly, this fluffy romance becomes a deep dive into emotional maturity, trust, and self-worth. The art is soft but expressive, the writing is painfully real, and the characters, you'll want to protect them and scream at them in the same chapter. It's like if Kaguya-sama and Your Name had a heartbreak baby. Absolute tear fest, but you'll thank it later. Finally, at number 1, The Boxer. This manhwa? Different breed. The Boxer is not about boxing. It's about the human condition disguised as boxing. The story follows you, a kid who fights like a machine. No emotion, no mercy, no humanity. Each opponent he faces has their own heartbreaking backstory, and by the end, you're not sure if you're watching a sports series or a psychological thriller. The art direction is cinematic. Shadows, expressions, motion blur, it's all masterfully done. The fights hit like poetry and trauma had a baby. It's one of those rare manhwa that makes you feel every punch, not because it's cool, but because it's real. If you want emotion, philosophy, and violence blended into one brutal masterpiece, The Boxer stands undefeated. And that's our top 10 manhwa of 2024. From Shadow Monarchs to Heartbroken Boxers, 2024 blessed us with absolute bangers. Which one's your favorite? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your takes. Smash that like button, subscribe for more anime and manhwa deep dives, and as always, keep reading greatness.